Hi, fans of high-quality entertainment. So I'm going to be reviewing George Harrison's second album, Electronic Sound. Here's the cover. And I didn't realize this. George Harrison did the artwork for this. And I kind of like it. And this comes with a nice booklet. It's not going to be a very long review, so I'll show you the booklet. George Martin. So there's only 2 songs. I'll show you the label here. On the Zapple record label, not Apple. So there are only 2 songs on the vinyl, one per side. Under the Mercy Wall, which was 18 minutes, 44 seconds, and No Time or Space, 25 minutes and 7 seconds. Under the Mercy Wall was composed by George Harrison. No Time or Space, it also says composed by George Harrison, but I think some of that work, or maybe a lot of it, was done by Bernie Cross? Krause. And of course, this is just all, the start of using the Moog synthesizer and fiddling with it and all that and making all kinds of crazy noises. Some pretty cool noises and some pretty bizarre noises, some pretty annoying noises, all kinds of noises. And you get a lot of it on this. There's no, that's all it is. There's no drums or anything, no guitar, no vocals. It's just fiddling with the Moog synthesizer. And I will say, I listened to it twice. I was going to listen to it a third time before this review. And then I thought it over and I said, there's no need to do that. And what's really funny, the first time I listened to it, it was kind of what I was expecting, because I think I did sample a little bit of it on Spotify at some point, so it wasn't like a big shock or anything. So the first time I listened to it with headphones, it was, it was interesting. It wasn't horrible. I kind of liked parts of it. And like I said, parts of it, not so much. And what's funny is the second time, a few days later, before I do the review, I got to play it at least twice. So I played it all the way through again. And I'm laying there listening to side 2, and it's going on and on and on and on. And I'm thinking, oh boy, got to listen to it all. So I was thinking it was nearing the end, right? And I go and check the time on my CD player. And it was only 10 minutes into it. I still had 15 minutes to listen to, and I did. So yeah, this is definitely for me, probably the lowest ranked George Harrison album. Certainly Wonderwall Music I loved, which I already reviewed. I gave it a solid A. I'm not sure, I'm sure at some point, maybe in a couple of years, I will play this again, but I'm not going to be playing it very often. And so it's definitely not for everybody, even people that like experimental music. I don't know. But also when you are listening to it, you got to go back to that time period. And I can just imagine like people kind of freaking out with all of the crazy sounds. It must have been, kind of impressive in a way, right? So, it's the early start of the Moog synthesizer. So I understand that. So you got to look at that too. But anyway, I can't give it a high rating because it's okay. I don't hate it. Like I said, I found parts of it interesting. So for a rating, it's unfortunately below, or fortunately, it's below Wonderwall music. I'm really struggling with the rating for it. It's not an A for sure. It's not a B. So I'm thinking in the C range. I'm going to give it, I think I'll just give it a solid C. Because like I said, there are interesting parts of it. And I think between sides 1 and 2, I think I enjoyed Under the Mercy Wall a bit more. But it was a challenging listen. I mean, to sit through it all, especially the second time. But I still give it a solid C. So that's it for my rating and review. Next up is some album. I don't know if you've heard of it before. It's called All Things Must Pass. Which, well, I'll talk about it in the next video. So that's it. I would love your thoughts on electronic sound in the comment section below. And what would you give it for a rating? And, if you haven't heard it, good for you. Bye.